I'm gonna. I was gonna say I'm gonna to bed tonight. I don't know why I would.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, I'm not putting that before the music plays. Hey, you know what the running joke is, Lauren? Now I'm saying I'm not going to put that before the music. Actually, I think I can hear the intro picking up now. Oh god, I'm putting it before the music, aren't I? Welcome. Instantly felt out. I'm not doing it. I was going to do Dracula voice. I can't do it. I said welcome and that was enough. Oh dear. Hey, and welcome back to Less Marvelless, your once a month other Marvelless podcast, starring my best friend and co-host Lauren.
Hello.
Oh, and me, not
and,
no,
and the other co-host, the lovely Josh.
Not Lauren's best friend. We heard that. That's burnt to tape. That is. We all heard the gap where she didn't say. Happy Halloween, Lauren. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too.
Thank you. Yes, welcome to our Less Marvelless Halloween Spectacular. Full of spooky delights from start to finish. Normally on the Marvelless podcast, we take the entirety of the MCU and put it in the battle to the death against the rest of cinema and decide who is better. But on Less Marvelless, we get to do whatever we want. Not that we're super strict on Marvelless. How have you been, Lauren?
Yeah, I've been really good. How have you been?
Good, thank you. Currently quite warm, to be honest, and not because I've got heat stroke like last time, but because with it being our Halloween episode, Lauren, I of course dressed up in costume.
Yeah. I got the memo, but ignored the memo.
Yeah. So if you'd like to explain the current situation, Lauren.
I'm just looking at Josh wearing a very tight. Has he got the muscles added in?
Yeah, no, this is all me, baby.
A Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Lauren wearing a blue pullover and a baseball cap.
That's my signature. To be fair, wearing a baseball hat.
Yeah. So who've you come as, Lauren?
Myself?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty scary.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you get angry, you can be scary. But
I don't think you've ever seen me angry.
No, I've seen you miffed.
Miffed?
I remember one time we were shooting a test film for some. We were shooting a guy, and you were really angry. No, I remember one time we were shooting a test film, and a person we were with just started eating crisps in the beginning during one of the takes. Do you remember that?
No. I don't remember that. Was that in my flat?
It was in your flat, yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
More Marvel, less law for everybody to enjoy. So, because it's a special episode, I have brought some movie news. None of it horror related. But then also a spooky quiz. What have you brought to soft play, Lauren?
Well, I've got some ridiculous film reviews, and you are going to guess what Halloween films they are.
Fantastic. This is going to be a good episode, says one of the co-hosts of the show. So let's start with some movie news. Don't know whether you heard or not, Lauren. This month or last month, it's hard to tell with time and that such, we saw the opening weekend of the new Saw movie and the new Paw Patrol movie.
I heard they were kind of coming out together. I didn't realise it had already happened.
Yeah, that's old news, and it's really old news in this episode that comes out in 2 weeks' time as well. But irregardless, all news is old news because it's all happened in the past.
That's true.
Can you guess which film grossed more at the box office, Lauren?
I want to say Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Paw Patrol. It's called like the Mighty movie, I believe. It's got like loads of.
Oh, is it Mighty Movie? Oh, yeah. It might not be Mighty Pups. It might just be Mighty Movie. Yeah, sorry.
You can explain Paw Patrol lore to me in a minute, Lauren. Paw Patrol grossed 46 million in its opening weekend.
Wow.
Not bad. I assume that's all of its budget made back.
Mm.
And Saw grossed 29 million.
That's not too bad either, really.
Yeah, I mean, they made the first one for the same amount of money they made they made this one for the same amount of money they made the first one. That's a massive return on investment, but I doubt it probably.
Probably not.
No. How many hours of Paw Patrol would you reckon you've watched in your life, Lauren?
Far too many.
We'll round it up to the nearest 10 hours.
It's probably near 200. I would think.
Oh dear.
I've seen the first movie about 15 times.
Yeah, is that good?
It's not bad, actually. It's all right.
Yeah, are the Paw Patrol pups voiced by like famous people or like actual voice actors?
They were in that movie. So the main dog is called Chase, and he was voiced by the kid that does Young Sheldon.
Oh, Jim Parsons Jr., yeah.
Jim Parsons Jr., yes.
Yeah.
I think there might be some... I don't actually know if there's any other famous people in it.
Have you ever heard... do you know who Billy West is?
Nope.
He's the voice of... he's one of the Futurama voices.
Okay.
He's like Fry, Zach Brannigan, Zoidberg, Professor Farnsworth.
Yeah.
Heard him talk about before how it's very annoying that in animated films they just hire famous people with no like actual voice talent. And he's got a point.
Yeah.
Like voice acting is really, really hard to do.
Yeah, it's a real craft, isn't it?
Yeah, because obviously you lose the majority of the actor's toolbox.
Yeah.
So I always think about how there was a time in history where we actually respected voice actors more. When they were making the Beatles Yao Submarine movie, which is animated, they were like, oh, the Beatles aren't good enough to do the voice acting in this. So all the speaking in that movie is people doing Beatles impressions.
Wow.
So apparently Zendaya in Smallfoot is more important than the Beatles, is what I'm hearing. My next bit of movie news is that the same weekends that Paw Patrol and Saw came out, The Creator came out, I believe, to Netflix and maybe cinemas and maybe Netflix, I believe.
Not heard of it.
It is Garth Edwards, Rogue One's director, first feature film since Rogue One. Yeah, literally. It is it's a perfectly timed movie because it is a super duper pro AI movie.
Oh, nice.
So I assume when they were
Topical.
writing it, I assume when they were writing it and like shooting it and doing the hundreds of hours VFX on it, that people were like, oh yeah, people are kind of, there's no real nuance to the conversation about AI. It's kind of a bit funny, but because a film like that takes 10 years to make, it's like now people's opinions on AI, especially in the arts, is a bit more like,
Wow.
I mean, we literally just had a writer's strike where they've agreed that no AI is allowed in writers' rooms anymore. So
I bet all the actors and the writers are like, come on, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it's meant to look beautiful. It's meant to be one of those really stunning sci-fi movies where it's not just shots of neon cities at night, which is what most sci-fi movies fall upon. And I'm certain if you've never seen Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell or Akira, you're like, wow, that looks amazing. But any kind of media literacy, and it's a little bit
Same thing again. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the original Akira or Ghost in the Shell?
No. I've seen Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I like that. That's one of those films that starts with text that works.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Star Wars and Battlefield Earth.
Star Wars.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting, Lauren. I keep forgetting you're not a fan of Star Wars because you've got taste.
Well, to be fair, this will get me like stoned or something, but I enjoyed the first one, like the episode 1, when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
That came out when I was about 8, maybe older. And I used to have it on VHS and I'd watch it all the time.
I mean, Phantom Menace has gone through a bit of a reappraisal. People are like, oh no, Phantom Menace is kind of good.
Yeah, I never understood why people hated it so much, and like especially like Jar Jar Binks. Like I never really got the hatred.
I don't know. I think it's that how it'd been 20 years since a Star Wars movie came out, and they were like, why is there a silly character in it? There's no silly characters in Star Wars. Forget C-3PO, R2-D2, the Ewoks, Max Rebo. Forget all of this. Star Wars is really serious, and Jar Jar Binks goes against that. I actually recently, my recent rewatch of of Phantom Menace, I kind of had like a new appreciation of Qui-Gon Jinn as a character. That's who Liam Neeson plays.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it's something I didn't pick up as a child watching it because I was just impressed by the flashing lights and colours, and which is why I love Marvel movies so much. And it's like, oh, Qui-Gon Jinn's kind of like this like Jedi like zealot.
Yeah.
Like he like believes so much in the Force, and the other Jedi's are a bit like, this is a bit much, Qui-Gon, mate. Like,
just chill, man.
Yeah, like
I'm here to play with my laser. God.
Yeah. But that's why Qui-Gon's the one that figures out he can come back as a ghost, because he's so committed to the Force that when he dies, he's like, oh no, I can really become one with the Force. Speaking of Star Wars, have you heard the sad Star Wars news?
They're making another one?
Oh, I've walked right into that. I'm going to add a drum hit after that. Yeah. They're no longer calling it jizz music, Lauren, in Star Wars.
Sorry, what? What now?
Do you know the Cantina? Do you know the Cantina band personally? Yeah. That's called jizz music.
Why is it called that?
Because that's what George Lucas called it. They're called the Jizz Wailers.
Why are they called that?
Because in the 70s, jizz wasn't the thing that we we didn't.
I think it might have been.
I don't think it was a common slang term for semen. So when George Lucas was writing them and calling them the Jizz Wailers, but Disney have officially stepped away from calling them the Jizz Wailers.
I'm not surprised.
Music. But this is something
sadly.
It's something that's never said in like the films at all. So to change it feels ridiculous. To make it a statement.
How does everyone know they're called the Jizz Wailers then?
Because it's written up in one of the 100 novels that George Lucas wrote about Star Wars.
Right. Okay.
You know how like when films used to come out, it used to be like a novelization of the film.
Oh yeah.
Like George Lucas went, I could do it. I could do that 100 times over.
I've got a novelization of The Nice Guys actually.
Is it good?
I haven't read it. I won it in a competition.
What? Tell? Dish.
Well, it was a Facebook competition on their like Twitter or maybe Twitter, and you just had to like comment something, and then I got selected, and they sent me a free book. Was that
That's
nice?
Amazing. If they're listening to that now, she never read it.
I didn't really know.
If you
I watched the film instead.
If you entered that contest and didn't win that book, and you would have read it, no, Lauren did win that contest and didn't read it anyway. Our good friends at Paramount, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some news for you.
Mm.
They have re-released Mean Girls on TikTok as 23 watchable videos. So you can now officially watch all of Mean Girls on TikTok.
I know it was like, was it 3rd of October yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a meme from Mean Girls.
Yes.
It's like, oh, he asked me what the date, 3rd of October, he asked me what day it was. And I said, it's the 3rd of October.
That's probably why they did it.
So is it like 23 10-minute videos then? Is that what it is?
Basically, I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, so as well as being the logo we see at the start of the Iron Man movies, it's now also the logo you see at the start of some TikToks.
That's crazy because you're only seeing like a stick part of a stick's worth of the film. That's bizarre.
I watched a TikTok the other day, and there was a button that said full screen, and I pressed it, and my phone went into horizontal orientation.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's going to take advantage of that feature.
Interactive, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I just think about David Lynch and Christopher Nolan being like, you can't watch a film on your phone. It's like, well, you can watch all of Mean Girls.
That's just mad. Is that going to be the new thing? Watch films on TikTok?
I can't wait for someone to stitch with the Mean Girls film and just sit in front of it and point. Not today, but when this podcast comes out, Loki Season 2 will have dropped as well.
Oh, is that this week?
It is.
Is it Friday?
I believe it is.
Oh my god.
Loki, Morpheus, the other one, they're all back. All our favourite characters. Alleged sex criminal John Majors.
Oh, I think they'll cut him out quite quickly.
He's on the poster. He's on the newest poster they released.
Yeah, that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, won't we? That's going to be interesting. I forgot. I knew it was coming out, but I've lost apparently all sense of time. I had no idea that it was this week.
That is the theme of this podcast, Lauren, is that neither of us know what time it is ever.
I'm going to have to rewatch the other Loki now.
You've only got 2 days to do it, I guess. I mean, you could probably skip one of the... I remember one of the episodes being completely skippable.
I might watch the last two.
Yeah, the ones with the man at the end of time.
Yeah.
The one who's left, what's he called? Because that's a version of Quang, isn't it?
Yeah. What's he called then? I can't remember what it's called.
It's not the one who knocks, because that's a Doctor Who thing.
That's the Breaking Bad thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that is Breaking Bad and Doctor Who. Yeah, Doctor Who. Did you watch much David Tennant Doctor Who?
I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who, Josh.
Well, you're probably not excited for David Tennant and Catherine Tate coming back this Christmas, are you then?
No, I thought that... I don't want to actually butcher his name.
But that actor who you respect.
I do respect him, yeah. I thought he was the new Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Is his episodes coming out?
It's the same episodes. Tate is...
Oh, okay.
Catherine Tate and David Tennant are back, but then he's going to regenerate into the new Doctor.
Okay.
It's like something's gone weird in his regeneration, and like he's picked an old face again for some reason, and who knows, Lauren. Doctor Who lore is more convoluted than Marvel lore. I need a book that I can buy and read. You can give me some news here, Lauren. I'd like you to tell the audience about the film trailer you sent me the other day. For a film,
the one with the cat.
The one named after a certain type of sweater pattern.
Well, I was just scrolling along, and I think was it from our friends at Paramount? I have no idea. Right, I thought it was. I don't know who it's from, but it just literally was like the first ad that comes up on TikTok, and it was like watching a car crash. In all fairness, it just couldn't stop watching because it was just like celeb after celeb after celeb, and I just don't really know how to describe it. It's like a book, but in real life, with a cat and a spy.
Trying to make romancing the stone a genre.
I haven't seen Romance in the Stone.
So the film we're talking about is Argyle. Don't watch Argyle, Lauren. Watch Romancing the Stone. It's on Disney Plus. It's pretty good. It's got a good Danny DeVito performance in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so Argyle's coming out. It's got like 1,500 famous people in it. It looks like it was a script written by AI.
Oh, it's from Apple.
I don't know what that meant, but read into that what you will.
Sorry, Paramount Pictures.
Yeah, you wouldn't put out something like that. Paramount, our friends at Paramount would not do that.
Paramount, I do apologise.
Speaking of new releases, Wes Anderson has 4 new Roald Dahl shorts on Netflix.
They do sound really cool. I need to watch them. I just haven't watched any telly for a while.
We've got The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which is the longest, at about 40 minutes. Then you've got 3 more, The Swan, Ratcatcher and Poison, that are all about 18 minutes long.
Oh, that's nice and short.
Yeah, they're all based on Roald Dahl short stories. I really enjoyed Henry Sugar. Like, I am not a Benedict Cumberbatch fan, but I was like, oh, he is like fantastic in this. And it's I could understand some people finding it incredibly irritating. I think it goes a pinch baroque in places. Like even for, I'm like, Wes, you are actually kind of pushing it here now. Like, I will tolerate this.
It's got the little trailer playing without the music. It's very Wes Anderson.
Yeah, it's this one is kind of all, you can say faking, it could be one, but it's definitely not. It's all faking, like one take Henry Sugar was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it starts with Ralph Fiennes playing Roald Dahl, like as the narrator.
Oh, nice.
And it's really nice. Everyone in it really shines. I think it's the first film that Ralph Fiennes and Ben Kingsley have been in since Schindler's List, maybe.
Fair enough.
But it is really, really good.
Yeah, that does look good.
I think what I do like about like Wes is obviously he did Mr. Fox and stuff. Like his work really sings to Dahl's writing, and like because you forget how twee he was as a writer. Like, because he's so popular, you just assume that the books are quite normal, but like, they're like bizarre and lovely. I would highly recommend those, Lauren.
Yeah, I'll give them a watch.
And my last bit of news for this evening, Lauren, is some Spider-Man news, some very sad Spider-Man news. Some disappointing news, some would say.
Apparently all the movie news is disappointing today.
Yeah, they've cancelled the Silver Sable movie.
The what?
Exactly.
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed to find out they were making that. Like,
was that Sony?
That is Sony. Sony have cancelled, I think, a couple of projects, and one of them being the Silver Sable movie.
Well, they're not making a Morbius 2. Have they cancelled that?
Don't spoil the second half of the episode, Lauren, by bringing up Morbius here. Yeah, because they're doing their whole, we own the rights to Spider-Man, but won't make a Spider-Man movie thing that they're currently in. So we'll just make Spider-Man villain movies. You got Craven coming out, had those 2 Venom movies, which I personally don't care for.
No.
I liked Venom 2 because it was like an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm like, hey, that's pretty good length for a movie. What if more films for that length?
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with like how they're acted or directed. It's just Spider-Man. Venom only makes sense in a world with Spider-Man.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
He's literally a guy wearing Spider-Man's old pajamas. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, Spider-Man gets a really cool symbiote suit from fighting in space during Secret Wars. And then he has that for a couple of years and then realizes that the suit's making him a bit mean and like altering his personality. And it turns out the symbiote suit is alive. So he goes to the Fantastic Four. They take it off him. And then the symbiote's like furious at Spider-Man for rejecting him. And at the same time, Eddie Brock is angry at Peter Parker. So this thing that's angry at Spider-Man finds this being who is angry at Peter Parker, and they merge together to make an alliance of something that wants to kill Peter Parker.
Right. Okay.
That's good writing. But what if instead of that, it was just some black goop that found Tom Hardy eventually?
I love Tom Hardy though. He's very
Yeah.
good, but I just feel that like you said, like it needs Spider-Man. That it has got this sort of like essence in the entire film that there is something lacking or something missing.
Yes.
And it's Spider-Man.
Yes. Venom's literally... The only reason Venom's got a big white spider on the front of his suit is because it's Spider-Man's old suit. Good Lord. Yeah, so that's all the movie news I have, Lauren, for you.
Wow.
Disappointing.
What a disappointing set of news.
As alluded to earlier, it is the Halloween episode, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And what's more scarier than a vampire? Whoa! So I wrote a quiz about Morbius. Another Sony film that is missing a key element. A script. The film Too Big to Fail Twice. What a lovely period that was for cinema, where Sony didn't realise people were taking the piss out of Morbius. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll release it again. People will go watch it.
Oh,
And
God.
people weren't allowed to go watch Minions because they were wearing suits. Like, what an interesting
Oh yeah, that
month.
was a weird time. Oh,
Did-
no.
Did the pandemic make us all crazy?
I think so.
Yeah. So, crazy things aside, Morbius time. So
Mhm.
I've got some questions here. You will be marked and you will score points.
Okay. This is
So-
not going to go well because I did not watch it properly when Lee was watching it.
Well, good news. None of the questions are about the movie. They're about
Oh, thank
Morbius.
goodness.
They're about the Morbius comic book character. That was the twist of the.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I assume you did your prepared reading for the episode, Lauren. So, there are all multiple choice.
Okay.
I thought I'd make it fair.
Oh, yep.
What year were we first introduced to Morbius? 1966, 1969, or 1971?
Well, I have no idea. 71.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
There's a reason it's 1971. Because in 71, the Comic Code Authority changed its rules to say that you could make comics about like supernatural creatures like vampires and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And Stan Lee's original plan was to make a comic just about Count Dracula, but decided that they should actually make their own vampire character instead. So he
Nice.
gave that job to writer and editor Roy Thomas, who is the inventor of Morbius.
Very nice.
Yeah, question number 2 here. Who was Morbius who was Morbius originally a villain for? Moon Knight, Spider-Man, or Blade?
I'm going to hazard a guess at Blade.
No, Spider-Man.
Oh.
You'll be shocked how many villains who don't really suit Spider-Man's like effort are introduced in Spider-Man.
Fair enough.
It's why he's got such a big rogues gallery, because like, let's just try out a villain. So you know how they call like Daredevil the man without fear and Deadpool the merc with the mouth? Like he's got a
Yeah.
tagline. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
What is Morbius's tagline?
Oh, God.
Is it Morbius the king vampire, Morbius the living vampire, or Morbius the used to call you on your cell phone vampire?
I'm going to say Morbius the living vampire.
Correct. Don't know what that means.
No, that doesn't make any sense because vampires are dead.
Yeah,
Surely.
yeah. But not always, as alluded to by our next question. True or false? Morbius once turned human because he drank some of Spider-Man's blood and then was hit by a bolt of lightning.
I'm going to say that's true.
It is
Some
true. Very
bizarre comic book.
Very, very,
Stuff.
very true. What is the name of the team that originally consisted of Ghost Rider, Blade, and Morbius? Is it the Handsome Boys, the Secret Hand, or The Midnight Suns?
I'm assuming it's The Midnight Suns.
It is indeed, Lauren. You're doing very well.
Totes know about comic books, yeah?
Yeah, yo. Which one of these heroes did Morbius help turn into a Frankenstein? Was it the Punisher, Man-Thing, or Captain America?
No idea. Captain America?
It was the Punisher.
Oh.
Frank Castle became Frankencastle. Comic books suck, Lauren. I say that as a huge fan of them. And last question of this quiz. This is not going to be like that One Piece quiz. We're at the end now. Which one of these films did the 2020 film Morbius gross more than? The Eternals, Catwoman, or Wonder Woman 1984? Which one of these films did Morbius make more money than?
Wonder Woman?
Catwoman.
I didn't even know there was a Catwoman.
Yeah, stars Halle Berry. She won a Razzie for it, and she went to collect it.
That Catwoman.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were released in this. Like you were talking about a film released in the same year.
No.
Right. My bad.
No
one went to see that Catwoman film.
Yeah, do you want to do that question again?
It was Catwoman. I'm sure of it.
So, Lauren, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 out of 7. Not bad.
That's not bad.
You win a plastic pumpkin filled with mini chocolates. Oh, but they're all bounties. Oh.
Keep your price. Okay, so I have been and had a look at some Halloween movie reviews on Letterboxd, and they're kind of just sort of like one sentence reviews, and I think that you should be able to try and work out what film they are from what people have put.
The tuxedo that Jackie Chan wears in this film is not very good looking.
And they're all kind of Halloween themed.
Okay.
And I would also like to say that all of the ads that are on Letterboxd are half-naked women, which is very, very weird.
A little for Argyle.
No, it's just like women wearing like cardigans, and I was like, what is this on here? It's just very bizarre.
That's what the people on Letterboxd want, Lauren.
Apparently so.
Is a cardigan.
Nerds like a woman in a cardigan.
I mean, who doesn't like a woman in a cardigan, Lauren? Let's be honest.
So the first film is 4.5 stars.
Pretty good.
And it says, I love movies that just don't give a fuck. Character building? Who cares? Blood.
Is this a quiz where I can ask with hints?
You can ask for a couple of questions. Do you want to? There's another one. I'll read
Can I have the title as well?
No.
Yeah, if you got another one, I'll take another one.
Yeah, so there's another one, 3.5 stars. Imagine trying to eat a snack while watching this. Okay.
Can I have the year?
Bear with me. Let me just.
I didn't think I. Here's a better idea. Can I have a hint, Lauren? You give me a hint that is suitable.
Hang on. 1981.
1981. A film with no plot, lots of blood, but you couldn't eat a sandwich whilst you were watching.
I think they were just like, it's a bit too gory to eat anything while you're watching this film.
Is it Driller Killer?
Just imagine like if you Google top Halloween films, like it would be in the list.
Oh, it's not Halloween, is it?
No.
See, that's the kind of stupid bit I would do, Lauren. These would all be reviews for Halloween. Is the creature or the baddie in the film, is it a supernatural creature or is it more human?
Let me just double check because I don't know. I haven't actually watched this film.
So it's a film you've not seen.
There's been a reboot of it too.
There's been a reboot. Is it Nightmare on Elm Street?
No.
Okay, I'm going to stop guessing. I think 2 guesses is enough.
It's Evil Dead.
Oh, of course. That's like one of my favourite movies of all time. The Evil Dead's got plot.
I'm not according to these film reviewers.
It's also got a really questionable tree rape scene as well. That Sam Raimi has gone on record to say, that's too much and I regret doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for your next one?
Born ready.
Right, this one's 3.5 stars. Halloween themed again. Something about Steve Buscemi playing a wolfman makes perfect sense.
Is this Hotel Transylvania?
Well done.
Wait, I'll give myself a point for that.
Right, let me get the next one up.
I'm sad that I didn't get the cult horror classic Evil Dead right, but I did get Hotel Transylvania.
Okay, I've only got one review for this. It's 5 stars. And it says, Among Us, the movie.
Among Us, is it The Thing?
I knew you'd get that one straight away. Okay.
Wait, is that my review that I wrote?
I have no idea. Did you write that?
That's the kind of stupid thing I would write.
Oh, no, it's by a guy named Alex. Wasn't you?
Thank God.
Okay. First one is 4 stars. The audacity of my brother to fall asleep during this.
I'm going to need more than that.
Okay. It's Johnny Depp in a crop top for me.
I want to say Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Oh dear. I was cracking up reading some of these papers.
He's in 2 of them, you know.
Oh, is he? He went for another one.
He appears on like a screen as a cameo in one of the later ones.
So the next one. So we've got one more after this one. This is what happens when you sleep with the door open. One star.
1 star. Is it Paranormal Activity?
I didn't think he was going to get that one.
Oh my God. You know what makes me... Do you know why? When I think of door open film, I think the Paranormal Activity poster is an open bedroom door.
Yeah. Okay, and then your final... I think that was the final one.
Oh no.
Let me get another one. I'll find another one quickly. Hang on.
Okay.
I think I've got one. And
Okay.
I'm not sure you're going to get this one though.
Okay.
So it's 2.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
The Clint Eastwood and Mel Gibson cameos made this a horror movie.
Can I have the year?
Yes. 1995.
95. A cameo by Mel Gibson in 95. Can I have the actual genre, or is it horror?
It says fantasy/family.
Fantasy family. Mel Gibson only turns up for a little bit, and Clint Eastwood. Can I have the director?
I don't know if that's going to help you. Brad Silberling.
Classic Brad here. Can I have the star?
The what?
The star. Who starred in the movie?
What's her name? Christina Ricci.
Oh God.
Bill Pullman.
Oh God. There's someone out here. There's someone listening who is screaming.
You idiot!
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
talking about?
It's going to be that guy that sent us that hate mail, isn't it? Wait till I get to near load of this. I don't know, Lauren. I'm gonna have to
It's
take the
Casper.
Casper. Of course. You know, when I think of cameos in that film, I think of Dan Aykroyd turning up in his Ghostbusters costume.
Does he?
Yeah.
Would you like to do one more?
I would love to do one more, Lauren. I am currently 4 out of 6 here, so I might as well lower my score.
So the first review is 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Me. This is a masterpiece. Also me. Has to Google. What is X about?
Can I have the year?
You can. 2001.
Oh, God. Is it Signs?
No.
Can I have any of the top 3 build cast?
Yeah. Jenna Malone.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, is it Blair Witch Project?
no. Let me just find somebody else that's not going to totally give the game away. Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal. Oh, okay. One more.
Patrick Swayze. I feel like you might not have watched this.
Can I have the beginning of the plot synopsis that I know will be available on Letterboxd?
Yeah, hang on. After narrowly escape. Oh my god. After narrowly escaping a bizarre accident, a troubled teenager is plagued by visions.
Oh, is it Final Destination? No, what? I don't.
It's plagued by large visions of something that manipulates him into commit a series of crimes.
Oh God. I don't know, Lauren.
Donnie Darko.
Oh my God. Wait, both of the Gyllenhaals are in that.
I know, I didn't want to tell you the first Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal, because he would have been like, oh, it's that one. Yeah, his sister is his sister.
That's lazy. That's like when both of the McCulkins are in Home Alone. That's just lazy.
Well, when you're making a not very expensive film, you to get whoever you can get in it, can't you, surely?
Yeah. I've never once clocked that be...
That was Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh dear. I'm going to end at 4 out of 7, Lauren. That gives us the same score on our quizzes.
Perfect.
Right. Have you got any Halloween recommendations? I've got a few, if you'd like, if I could start, and give you time to think about yours.
Yeah, sure. You go for it.
I would like to recommend 2 things.
Okay.
I would like to recommend Barbarian.
Yeah.
It's a film you should know nothing about, and you should just watch Barbarian and enjoy. Because
Can I look at the poster?
Yes, the poster will give nothing away. Please look at Barbarian. Barbarian is a film that is smarter than you. Everything you think you know Barbarian is going to do, it doesn't do. It is so much smarter than you are.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you one thing, Lauren. It's about a house.
Oh, is it scary?
Yes, this is Halloween recommendations. This is the most modern horror film I've watched. Okay.
What's it on?
Disney Plus.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'll write that down, but I don't have a pen.
I would also, to widen up my recommendations here, I'd also like to recommend the album Spirit Phone.
What?
It's by an artist called Lemon Demon or Neil Cicierega. It is do you know what a spirit phone is, Lauren?
I dread to think.
It's essentially it's like a phone that can ring the dead.
Oh, okay.
And the album is essentially comprised of phone calls from dead people or like people who are dying or work with the dead.
Oh.
And it is so funky and like it is funny in places. It's got a song about how in Victorian times people used to eat mummies because they thought it gave them sexual powers. Like, and you know, it is secular as well. Like I only found this out like the last year or so that this album essentially loops forever, but like that's a theme in the album basically is that everything loops. Like, because all these dead people try and kind of give you advice, but they're kind of like so obsessed with talking about themselves they don't actually get to the bit where they improve your life.
Okay.
The last phone call or song is called "Spiral of Ants," and it's by do you know what an ant spiral is?
No.
Essentially, some ants are blind, and they just follow the ant in front of them, and that's how they know where they're going.
Okay.
They're using pheromones, but sometimes the ant at the front gets lost and joins the ant at the back of the queue, and they just walk in a circle until they die. And like the biggest one ever recorded's like been over a mile long. It's called an ant spiral or a spiral of ants.
Oh my gosh.
And so the last song is a phone call from an ant who has died that way.
Oh.
And essentially he gives this beautiful bit of advice, which I kind of do think of a lot, which is don't let the bastards step on your hands. And I just think that's like genuinely very good advice.
That is good advice, yeah.
Yeah, so I would recommend Barbarian for something to watch and Spirit Phone for something to listen to. Spirit Phone is available everywhere that good music is found. You can even buy it on CD, cassette, and vinyl if you are so inclined.
Wow. Yeah, I'll give that to listen to, actually. It sounds very bizarre.
Yes, so that's my recommendations. Have you got any for us?
Yeah, one of my favourite horror films, well, that I've ever seen is an Australian film called The Loved Ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a teenage girl who kind of like tries to get a boyfriend. I can't remember the gist of it, but she invites this boy home, and she and her family are basically crazy, and they try and escape. It's very, very good.
It sounds a bit like that Ready or Not film that came out a few years ago. Do you remember that? Where essentially this woman marries into this family, and they've got to play like hide and seek basically, and if she survives, she gets to be part of the family. But anyway, what's the general vibe with The Loved Ones?
The general vibe is kind of like it's got like a sense of humour about it, but it's kind of like unsettling. Yeah. What it says here is that the guy turns her down when she invites him to the school formal, and then he pays the price as the guest of honour at her party.
That does sound squarey.
Yeah. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it, Josh. I would recommend it.
So, is it streaming anywhere, Lauren?
It doesn't appear to be streaming anywhere, but you can buy it on Amazon and Apple and Google Play for about £3.49.
Worth the price of admission?
I think so. It is really one of the best films, like horror films I've seen, and it came out in like 2009, and I think it was like a film that maybe rented or something like that. You know, when you could like get DVD sent to you or something like that. And it's just one of those things that just really has stuck with me ever since I've seen it. So I would definitely recommend seeing it.
Amazing.
If you can.
I will seek that out. Anything else?
Yes. My other recommendation is, did you know the Foo Fighters made a horror film?
Yes, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay, it's called Studio 666.
Yeah.
Which is a play on their recording studio is called Studio 606.
Okay.
And they basically go to record an album, and they normally record in like different places. They to get like a vibe on their album and stuff, and they end up recording in this haunted house basically. And then just like craziness ensues from there. If you like the Foo Fighters and you understand like their like sense of humour, you'll find it very hilarious, but it's also very like gory.
Is it as funny as the Learn to Fly video? I
think so, yeah. It's just like it's got their like sense of humour and their silliness mixed with like a lot of horror stuff. I feel like The director made like a horror film before.
Saying the Foo Fighters genuinely have one of my favourite music videos ever. I love Everlong.
Oh yeah, that's a great video.
It's one of Michael Gondry's like best
Yeah.
works in short as well, and that's even got Evil Dead references in it.
Mhm.
You know, a film I couldn't think of earlier, but no is referenced in the Everlong video. I'm an idiot, Lauren.
Oh, John Carpenter's in it. Oh.
There you go. What a ledge. John Carpenter's like, yeah, basically quit making films so I could smoke weed and play Xbox.
Yeah, so if you've got the time, you just want to watch something a little bit silly but a little bit gory, then you should give that a watch. And I think it's on Sky Store and Now Cinema, if you've got any of those. Now TV.
I don't, because I only like to give my money to billion-dollar corporations. Right, Lauren, we're coming to the end of this Less Marvelless, which I think actually might be just under an hour after editing.
Oh my goodness me.
Yep. Before we go, I'm just going to grandstand a little bit here, Lauren. As we are recording this, the writer's strike is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Me and Lauren support writers. Like, as much as we talk about studios here, people make art, studios don't make art. Saying as the writer's strike is coming to the end, the actor's strike still is currently on, which you manage as well as not a lot of promo for films at the moment, is because no actors can promote anything without breaking strike. I just want to say, Lauren, I hope you don't mind speaking for you. We are fully support the actor's strike as much as the writer's strike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is this weird perception that actors are like billionaires. They're not. Some of them are better off, certainly. but
that's an extremely small percentage. I think
yes.
I'm sure there was a statistic that said that only 5% of actors are like paid like that much, and there's a good sort of like, I think maybe like 80% of the people don't even get paid enough to qualify for the SAG-AFTRA like health insurance.
Yeah. See,
which is insane.
That's the reality of it all. Like, if actors were paid lots of money, they wouldn't do adverts for coffee.
No, they wouldn't. Except George Clooney, because he loves
coffee. because he loves espresso. So say, me and Lauren had our first outing as a podcast duo. We were on our friend of the show, Jeffrey's podcast, the Retro Gem Media podcast.
Yeah, that was lots of fun.
Yeah, we talked to Jeff for 2.5 hours. We were meant to stick to a theme, but then he brought me on, so we knew what he was getting into.
So have fun editing that down.
Yeah, ha, you fool. I should have worn the Spider-Man costume for that.
When I saw you wearing that, you just reminded me that I've got to make a Scarecrow costume, and I don't know when I need to make it for.
Okay. I had some more thoughts about that for you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It's okay. That episode is either out now or coming out really soon with me and Lauren on. I'm on an older episode, but don't worry about that. Just listen to.
This one's more important.
Yeah, it is, because we talk about the Marvelless podcast on it. So. I'd like to thank Luke for our music and stingers, as always. Luke, you're fantastic.
Thanks, Luke.
I'd like to thank you guys for listening. We do appreciate it. We know we're not the biggest podcast in the world right now. We know we're only in like the top 10, but we appreciate it.
No, we really appreciate everyone that's had a listen. It's actually amazing to see that, like, it's a small amount of people, but it feels like a huge amount of people. If you like imagine those people in a room, all just kind of listening, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah, like I couldn't speak to a room of 100 people, let alone imagine 100 people listening. Like, you know. And if we ever do get big, rich, and famous, we'll remember the real ones, Lauren. You guys are here at the start. Oh yeah, I've got one last thing. I've got some news about merch. If you would like some Marvelless merch, just buy any Marvel merch and write less at the end of it, and that is official Marvelless merch. Do send in photos of that, and we'll compile them. Yes, if you do have any emails, yes, do email us at themarvellouspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we can't wait to read your hate mail.
Yes, yes. I swear, this is the first time I've not mentioned hate mail. I know.
Also, if you want to send us nice, positive, happy things, that's great too. And if you've got any Halloween recommendations for me and Josh to watch, that'd be great.
Yeah, I won't be watching them, but...
We're broadening our horizons, Josh.
Yeah,
watch the next Halloween.
Yeah, it doesn't stop me from having an anxiety disorder. Oh dear. So this is the oh dear, this is the bit where Lauren poofs into a bat and she flies away into the night.
You have to add the sound effect in.
Yeah. You gotta do a vampire voice, Lauren.
I can't do it.
Apparently I can't either. I don't know if I'm going to put in that failed intro. That might be the post-credit scene. Oh, for people who don't know, because this is a Marvel podcast, after the music stops, there is always a post-credit scene.
You don't tell them that.
Well, I have a funny feeling people stop listening when the outro plays. But yeah, I spend minutes picking a clip that's not good enough to be in the show to put after the show. Okay. Thank you all for listening, Lauren. Thank you all for take two. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Lauren. And
thank you, Josh. It's been lots of fun.
It's okay. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I am quite warm.
You're just determined to get a heat stroke again, aren't you?
Yeah, apparently my aim of every episode of Less Marvelless is to have heat stroke. The one who remains. The one who remains.
He who remains.
He
That's
who remains.
It. Well done, Josh.
Thank you. Just give me time and enough digression.